Spending your hard-earned money on tech upgrades should be something you look forward to, but it would seem that some people would like to take that away from you and not deliver what they promised you in the first place. So in this video, which is a follow-up to my buying refurbished hard drives on eBay video, I'm going to go through a couple of things that have happened since then. Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video on Bite of Geek. So this video is a follow-up to the buying refurbished hard drives video I did back in October in 24. The link down below in the description if you want to go and watch that one. And basically, way more feedback on that one than what I was expecting. It seems, this is very much a black and white type of thing. Some people will buy refurbished drives, some people won't touch them with a barge pole. But this video is very much a kind of like a split video, this one. So this is two things, something that you need to be aware of for both instances really, especially if you're buying Seagate kind of like EXOS or enterprise level hard drives, or even the NAS hard drives. So first of all, I'm going to start off with my drives that I bought back in last year in August 24. And for those of you who watched all the way to the video, to the end of the video, you'll have heard exactly how I ended up on that. Now, since then, I did actually have some more failures from the batch of drives that I actually bought, and I sent one of them back to the seller of the items. So they failed one after the other, unfortunately, it was a lot of faff. There were lots of backwards and forwards of messages and things like that, and ultimately they ended up refunding what I paid for the hard drive. So I was fine with that. I bought another drive. I actually bought a brand new one to cover that one. So yes, I was out of pocket a little bit, but ultimately, I had I guess kind of like the security of buying it from a retailer that I knew, and I knew I would get a good working product. So fast forward kind of like a few more weeks from that point in time, and unfortunately another one of the drives actually failed. I tried to get in touch with the seller on eBay, and again, a bit of backwards and forwards. I returned the hard drive, and then they just disappeared off eBay. Their account stayed there, but they had set it that they wouldn't be back until the end of January 25, and no matter how much messaging backwards and forwards I did, I couldn't get a response. So I reached out to eBay, but because it was kind of like over the 90 days period, they didn't really offer any kind of solution. They weren't really interested in helping me as a consumer. They made a couple of suggestions of things I could try and do, but ultimately, they walked away from it. I tried raising it with PayPal, and within 5 minutes they closed the case. I submitted it, and it was closed as quick as I'd gone and sent it. So my only other real option was to contact my credit card company. But again, I was really outside of the time period that I could actually do something about that. And this is something, I don't think an awful lot of people realize, is that, if you're paying for goods through eBay with your credit card or even your debit card, if your account is backed by that, you're in a much weaker position when it comes to claiming funds back from somebody that you've bought something from on eBay, as opposed to just using your credit card. But there is a caveat here. You have to be not logged into your PayPal account in order to actually be in a stronger position. But that is a whole different discussion. I'm sure there are videos about that elsewhere on YouTube. So basically my only option really was I contacted Trading Standards in the UK, which is, for those of you who don't know, it's kind of like a bit of a body that can look into the trading practices of businesses. And this seller was a registered limited company, so they certainly could look into how this seller was undertaking its business practices. I submitted details on that. I did get a response back, and they also gave suggestions on how to go forward on this. So basically what I did is I wrote to the seller. I stated out all the basic kind of like, sale of goods laws that they'd gone and broken, and the fact that they still had my hard drive that I'd sent back. They were literally kidnapping it. And obviously I sent them a paper copy of the letter as well, and I heard nothing back. And they'd actually logged into their account and gone and said they would be back at the end of February. So, they were just basically shifting the date, and I was getting a bit fed up at this time. So I decided to take it kind of like the ultimate nuke option and threaten them with legal action. I could take this through small claims, and that's what I wrote to them about. And sure enough, within probably 36 hours, I got a response telling me that they would replace the drives, and ultimately, I got 2 replacement drives from the seller, which seem to be in fairly decent nick, but they are a lot newer than the one that I sent back. So they've sent an additional one, all for the hassle of the whole exercise. So that is that. I think there's a big lesson here. Obviously there are good sellers and there are bad sellers on eBay. It really is kind of a little bit of a minefield. You don't really know what you're going to get. You don't really know who's behind that business. It's not like you can just rock up and knock on the door. In most places, a lot of times they're just using a mailing address, and they've got a warehouse elsewhere. So it is a bit of a chance situation, and certainly, as I mentioned in the last video, we don't have big refurbished hard drive suppliers like server part deals and stuff like that. In the UK, the shipping costs to get those from America far outweigh the value that you're going to get by buying refurbished drives. So lessons learned there from buying from eBay. Now the second part of this tale, and kind of like this part of the video, is very much related in some ways to refurbished hard drives. It's something that's very much going on at the moment in the hard drive world. Some of you may have seen the stories in the kind of like the tech online press. If not, you may have gone and watched one of Robbie's videos on NAS Compares. That's where I saw some of the further details about this. I'd actually seen some of the press articles about it beforehand. But basically, there is an issue that's going on at the moment with regards to Seagate EXOS hard drives. Now, Robbie's just published another video on the channel that is in relation to Seagate Iron Wolf hard drives as well, that look like they've got a similar kind of problem. And basically what seems to be happening is that the market is being infiltrated, or the new drive market, as it were, is being infiltrated with used hard drives, but nobody seems to be aware of that. So I'll link Robbie's videos down below in the description if you want to go and watch the details behind that, because it will show you how to go and check your hard drives. And this goes back at least until 2021. It's worth, if you've got some of these drives, it's worth checking to see if you are a victim of this as well. So with what was going on with these used ones that I bought from eBay, as I say, I bought a brand new one from another supplier, and then I bought 2 more from a company which they sell lots of components. They're a very big component supplier in the UK. I have dealt with them for probably well over 15 years. I've never had an issue with them, and I highly doubt they have been aware of this when they've been selling on the hard drives. So I actually bought 2 EXOS X18 16 terabyte drives to go into my NAS, and they arrived. They had a data manufacturer of 2021. Now, obviously that did surprise me when it arrived, but they were sealed. You know, they looked in perfect condition. I mean, you know, you can see, you know, there's no markings on the drives. There's nothing on, you know, the kind of like the silver disc on the front there. You know, there's nothing. You know, you would be hard pressed to say that they were used drives. So I just thought maybe, you know, they were new old stock. They were certainly OEM drives. And the warranty was all being offered by the company itself. So I was fine with that. You know, certainly if you look at true used hard drives, you know, if you look at like one of the ones which, you know, I'd gone and bought off eBay, you know, there is like a little dent on the sticker here. You know, there's light scratches on it as well. Probably slightly difficult to pick up on the camera, but they are there. There are some markings down the side. You know, but not the worst by any means that I've actually gone and seen on a used hard drive. Yeah, I bought these two brand new drives from this company, and you know, they arrived. I put one of them into my NAS, and I put the other one as a spare, which ultimately went in when I had the issue with the seller on eBay. Now, I was fine with these drives. They were working absolutely perfectly. You know, no smart errors or anything like that, and the smart data pretty much showed that I was the only person that had used these. And this is the thing, you know, if you use something like Crystal Disk Info, then it will report that it has got super low hours. And so, yeah, you know, loaded all my data on and all that kind of stuff. And then I saw these news articles. I saw the video on NAS Compares, and I decided to follow the instructions from that video. And lo and behold, both of the hard drives had over 17,000 previous hours of use on them, which is just absolutely staggering. You know, it's at least 2 years probably of previous usage. These drives do not in any way indicate that they have been previously used. There's nothing on them that would suggest these were used hard drives, but there in these other parameters that you can look at, you know, using the SmartMon tools, the information was there. You know, previous hours, one of them's over 17,500 hours and the other one is over 18,500 hours. I was absolutely flabbergasted, basically. You know, I'd paid, you know, premium price for these because they were brand new drives. You know, they weren't being sold as refurbished, and yeah, completely and utterly shocked in that. So I've contacted the seller about this. They've immediately accepted these back as an RMA and will replace the drives. I'm sure that, you know, they will probably do some kind of checking themselves. But, you know, if you've got EXOS hard drives, or you've got Iron Wolf hard drives, certainly, you know, as I say, back from, you know, as far back as 2021, I would go and watch the video on NAS Compares and, you know, the instructions on what to do here, and check your drives yourself. You know, there are reports all over the place. A lot of these have been in Europe, you know, kind of like Germany and stuff like that. But there are, you know, more countries that are coming out all the time. You know, this is, you know, Robbie's referred to my post in his comments on his video about this. You know, it's, you know, actually in the UK. I don't think there had actually been any reports of other UK instances prior to that. So this is out there. You know, where are these coming from? You know, it is all explained in the video on his channel. But, you know, as I say, this is not on this. You know, people are paying out good money for these products, and, you know, blatantly there is, you know, a massive scam going on here. You know, whether it's, you know, buying, you know, your brand new drives, or, you know, you've got dodgy sellers that are on eBay. So I'd really love to hear your thoughts on all of this. You know, it's kind of, you know, I know some people in some other comments on the videos that I've watched are kind of like, well, I'm glad I buy used drives. Well, you know, the problem could still exist with those as well. You know, if it goes back to 2021, what's to say it hasn't been in use since 2021? And the information is actually, you know, it's been reset again type of thing. You know, you could have doubled the amount of hours than what you actually think is on that drive when you're looking at that. So, you know, I think this is a scandal, you know, waiting to really kind of explode. You know, is this affecting other hard drives as well? So yeah, let me know your your experience with this. Have you been affected by this? Fortunately, these ones, as I say, a seller that I know is going to replace these, but yeah, is anybody safe nowadays in buying hard drives? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.